Medical assessments can be scary and overwhelming, but today I'm sharing 5 ways to make them a little bit easier. Whether you drive yourself or whether somebody else drives you, make sure you stay till the end because I'm going to share 2 tips to make the drive home easier, because we're going to get you through the assessment, but then there's still a whole car ride home where you're going to start self-doubting, where you're going to start thinking about the day, and I'm going to help you to rein that in a little bit. Welcome back to the Concussion Crew, your go-to place for all things brain injury recovery. My name is Larissa, and today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have learned over the past 4 years of navigating medical assessments. Disclaimer, I am not a medical professional, nor am I a lawyer. I am not offering legal or medical advice here. I'm just someone who has a brain injury and has been navigating life with a concussion. Probably just like you, my head hurts every day. I have migraines, chronic pain, and other ongoing issues since my accident. In dealing with insurance companies and medical professionals, I've had to go to a lot of assessments. So here are the top 5 things I would recommend when you're getting ready for a medical assessment. The first thing that I would recommend is getting a rolling suitcase. I'm sure many of us have them kicking around the house, so just grabbing any old rolling suitcase so that you can bring things in with you easily and then just roll them out with you rather than trying to carry things. If you're like me and you use an assistive device, trying to carry a backpack that has the things you need and use my cane, it's difficult. And then you start cutting things out because, I'm not going to bring that extra bottle of water or my coffee cup because it's weighing me down. So if you have a rolling suitcase, you're less limited by weight. And also, I would recommend bringing a larger than you would think you need rolling suitcase, because at the end of the day, you're going to be tired. Your body's going to be tired. You're going to be cognitively exhausted. Likely you're going to have a headache, you're going to be in pain. And if you have organized your little rolling suitcase and everything has fit into it neatly, you're going to need to kind of do that again at the end of the day when you're feeling crappy. But if you have a larger size rolling suitcase, you're just going to be able to chuck everything in there and leave and deal with it at home rather than trying to fold things and make sure that all your lunch components fit neatly in there. You'll be able to just grab it and go, which will be important, trust me. Another thing that I really like to bring is a small pillow and a small blanket. If you are anything like me, you need breaks and naps and times to close your eyes and just give your eyes a break, give your head a break. And if you are in a medical office, it's not a very comfortable place. They don't have a place where you can take a nap. So throughout the day, when you do have opportunities for break at lunchtime and whenever you need a break, make sure you speak up and advocate for yourself. If you need a water break, if you need a brain break, if you need a caffeine break, let them know, because the most important thing is you and your body. You need to try to get through the medical assessment, but not at the expense of your health. Back on track, if you have a pillow and a small blanket, you can lie down on the floor, you can curl up in the chair, you can lean against the wall. You'll have options and ways of making yourself a little more comfortable and cozy in a stressful, crappy situation. And I felt weird. The first time I did it, I felt like a weirdo. but it made the experience better for me. Having the pillow, I didn't have as bad a crick in my neck at the end of the day. So bring a pillow, bring a blanket, take care of yourself, take a nap when you need to, because it's going to be a lot. Next, you're going to want to fuel yourself for success. What that looked like for me was bringing a bento box with cubed up brain-friendly things that I could eat on the go. So I had cubed up chicken breast, cheese, pumpkin seeds, cashews, apple slices that I could just grab. Having a variety of snacks that you can eat on the go is going to help you keep going and feel as good as possible that day and have lesser impact on your body the next day. There's going to be less recovery days required. Something that I found is a lot of these medical assessment centers have refillable water stations. So I would bring a water bottle and then refill it throughout the day. I also brought 2 coffees and 2 teas so that throughout the day, throughout the afternoon, when I was starting to, in the afternoon when everything just kind of collapses in, I could put a little caffeine in my system and try to feel a little bit more alive. I like my leak-proof travel mugs because they can just get chucked in. If I don't finish the liquid in them, I can chuck them in the rolling suitcase and it doesn't matter because they're not going to leak all over the place, as opposed to ones that you need to keep upright. My first medical assessment that I went for, I was so stressed. I had no idea what to expect. I was anticipating horrible things. I don't know why our brain does this, but our brains are primed for disaster, right? And I left there and my shirt was soaked through. I was so stressed and upset that I sweat so much. And the drive home was uncomfortable. So now when I go for a medical assessment, I bring a spare t-shirt and a spare sweatshirt, and I change at the end of the day. Whether I need to or not, I do so that I feel fresh in the car ride home. It's kind of a psychological way. I go, before I get in the car, I use the bathroom, I change my top, and I leave the assessment behind me as much as possible. So I recommend in your rolling suitcase, bringing something that is going to make you feel comfortable and cozy for the drive home. And you can always pull out your pillow and your blanket and take a nap in the back seat if somebody is driving you. We've got our rolling suitcase, we've got our pillow, we've got our blanket, we've got our food, our fuel for the day, we've got a change of clothes, and last but not least, the stuffy factor. I love stuffies. The assessment environment can feel overwhelming and crappy. Understatement of the year, right? And stuffies are comforting. This is why babies like them. This is why toddlers like them. And now as grown-ups, apparently they're not okay. I disagree. Grab yourself a stuffy. It is soothing. It is soft and will help you to just feel a little comforted in a scary, crummy situation. I have so many stuffies. I have leaned in to the comfort and the good feelings that my stuffies bring. I have a 6-foot stuffy that will help me when I meditate sometimes and when I'm having a crappy day and I just need to curl up on something cozy. I have smaller stuffies, but you can get hand-sized stuffies. So I'm not saying that you have to bring a big guy in and be cuddling him through the session. You can bring in like a little handheld stuffy that nobody's even going to notice. And stuffies are notoriously forgiving. So if you have a hand-size stuffy that you want to squeeze like a stress ball and just help yourself to breathe and unwind a bit, that's okay too. If you have any comfort items that help you out, whether they're stuffies or something that I haven't mentioned, please share them in the comments below. And let's start to normalize comforting ourselves however we need to, within reason. We've got a concussion, we've got a brain injury. They are hard enough without saying, well, that's something that's for kids. If it brings you comfort, use it. Now, it will probably feel like everything is riding on this assessment, and you will feel so much pressure. I know that I did. Every time I left there, every time I got ready to go to a medical assessment, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so important. But please try to remember that bodies heal, and our brain is designed to not only heal, but grow and evolve and change. So even if the insurance company denies your medical coverage, if they refuse to pay, if you have to take a break from physio or occupational therapy or psychology or whatever therapy you are doing, brains heal. And it might be slower, and it will probably feel really frustrating and infuriating when they refuse to help you out. If you can afford to go to whatever therapies your medical team is recommending, I say do it. But also remember that bodies are designed to heal and will continue to heal. I said that there would be 2 suggestions for the ride home. One is to designate a sweet treat that you bring with you and you have in the car ride home. And I'm not saying to cut out all sugar. I'm not saying don't eat chocolate throughout the day. Eat what you want. Eat what you need to feel good, to feel comfortable, to feel full, to feel nourished. But if there is something that is special to you, for me, it's Lindt, 60% dark chocolate. They're amazing. They come in the little silver wrappers, and I would eat Kit Kats during the day. I would have my Lindt in the chocolate, and it was just another thing that signaled to my brain that that part of the day is done, and now I get my reward because I did the best I could. My other suggestion is to pick a phrase or a mantra and write it on a note card so that you can reference it, so that when your brain is saying, oh my gosh, I didn't answer all of those questions. That took me so long. This problem came up. That problem came up. I had to take my migraine pills. Whatever your brain starts feeding at you, you are going to have in your hot little hand a note card that you can refer back to. One of my favorites is, I did my best, now I get to rest. Because showing up, getting ready the night before, making it through the assessment, even if you don't finish it, you've done your best. And that's what matters. That's all that any of us can do. I really hope that these tips help to improve your next medical assessment experience. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and in the comments, share your own suggestions for survival kit essentials, because these are 5 things that I thought were great, but I'd love to build on that and come up with a more comprehensive list of things that our crew find helpful. Thanks so much for joining us, and please remember, you are not alone in this.